Once upon a time, in a quaint little town, lived a shoemaker and his wife in a small, cozy house. The shoemaker ran a small shop and a workshop where he crafted and sold his shoes. His workshop was filled with the tools of his trade: a cast iron cobbler's anvil, owls, knives, hammers, pincers, needles, thread, and measuring tools, all neatly arranged. He worked tirelessly, always striving to create the best shoes, for he was known as an honest and hard-working man. Despite his honesty, the shoemaker struggled to make ends meet, and eventually, all his savings were gone. He was left with only enough leather to make one final pair of shoes. He carefully cut the remaining black leather, preparing it on his work table to stitch the last pair of shoes the next day. As the day drew to a close, the shoemaker went home, telling his wife,
"We have enough leather only to make a single pair of shoes."
His wife replied,
"Don't worry, dear. You are an honest man. God will never let you down."
Together, they went peacefully to bed, leaving their cares to heaven, and soon fell asleep. The next morning, after his prayers, the shoemaker opened his workshop as usual, but he could not believe his eyes. On his work table, he saw a pair of perfectly stitched, shiny, and finished black shoes. The shoemaker also noticed that the black shoes were stitched and finished with great precision. He had never seen a shoe of this quality in his entire life. He wondered who could have made these shoes for him. Without wasting any time, the shoemaker picked up the new pair of black shoes and placed them in his shop for display. Soon after, a wealthy gentleman came in and tried on the shoes. He noticed that there was not one false stitch in the whole job. All was so neat and true that it was quite a masterpiece. The wealthy man was so happy with the fit and astonished by the quality of the shoes that he paid double the price to the shoemaker. The shoemaker thanked the gentleman, and soon went to the leather shop to buy leather with the money he had earned. That same day, the shoemaker cut leather for 2 new pairs of shoes and kept it on his work table. As it was getting dark, the shoemaker went home, thinking that he could finish off the shoes the next day. Upon reaching home, the shoemaker told his wife what had happened today in his workshop. His wife replied,
"You are an honest man, dear. God will never let you down."
The shoemaker and his wife happily went to bed that day, filled with hope and gratitude. The next morning, after his prayers, the shoemaker opened his workshop. As usual, he was not able to believe his eyes again. He saw 2 pairs of perfectly stitched, shiny, and finished shoes on his work table. The shoemaker kept these wonderful shoes on display, and they were sold out soon for a very good price. The shoemaker bought more and more leather. Every day, the shoemaker would cut lots of leather and keep it on his work table and go home. And the next morning, many new pairs of shoes of different sizes, varieties, and different colors would wait for him on his work table. This continued for many months. Everyone in the town praised and trusted the shoemaker for his affordable, good-quality shoes and his honesty. And the shoemaker, with enough money, became a rich man in the town. And so, the shoemaker's life had completely changed. He and his wife were now rich but very down to earth. Yet, they were also keen to find out who or what was behind their amazing success. They couldn't figure out who was making the wonderful shoes each night. One evening, as Christmas drew near, the shoemaker wondered aloud,
Who could be helping us make these wonderful shoes?
Let's hide in the workshop and see.
his wife suggested. That night, the shoemaker cut out black leather and placed it on his work table. Then he and his wife quietly hid behind a curtain. At midnight, they heard cheerful humming. Two tiny elves, dressed in ragged clothes, peeked inside through the window. The elves hopped onto the work table, singing and playing. Then, with tiny fingers, they began to stitch the black leather with incredible speed. In no time, they finished a pair of shiny black shoes. After more singing and playing, the elves vanished into the moonlight. The next day, the shoemaker's wife exclaimed,
"These elves have made us rich. We must thank them somehow."
What can we do, dear?
asked the shoemaker. His wife replied,
"I'll sew them new clothes, and you can make them tiny shoes."
The shoemaker smiled, pleased with the idea. Christmas Eve was just around the corner. The wife carefully sewed tiny green and yellow outfits. The shoemaker crafted 2 pairs of miniature black shoes. That evening, they placed the gifts on the work table and hid behind the curtain once more. At midnight, the elves arrived, dancing and skipping. They hopped around the room, ready to work. But then they saw the gifts. They laughed and chuckled, mightily delighted with their unexpected presents. The elves quickly put on their new green and yellow clothes and black shoes. They danced and capered and sprang about, as merry as could be. Finally, wearing their new clothes, the elves vanished into the moonlight, never to return. The shoemaker and his wife were grateful for the elves' help. Inspired by the elves, they made the best shoes in town. Everyone admired their beautiful, well-made shoes. They never forgot the kindness of the little elves. And every Christmas they left out tiny gifts, hoping the elves might return. For kindness, they knew, is the greatest gift of all. With happy hearts, the shoemaker and his wife lived happily ever after.